going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, the other day, Shroud came out and made a statement about Call of Duty that I thought was just extremely interesting. And I gotta be honest with you guys, I completely agree with it in every way, shape, or form. I mean, some parts I don't agree with, obviously, but the overall idea of Call of Duty not taking much skill still stands. And I'm gonna go ahead, showcase Shroud's clip, and I'm gonna actually give you a little proof by showcasing a classic Call of Duty game and fast-forwarding to a current Call of Duty game and really showcasing why these games are taking less and less skill over the years.
Can I ask what made you fall away from Warzone? It's just COD, brother. I'm not a fan of the point and click. COD just needs a little bit more depth for me to really enjoy it, you know? And by that I mean like depth when shooting gun. Like that game, dude, that game is a fucking monstrosity. It's a plague for mouse and keyboard. It's by definition a terrible shooting game for mouse and keyboard. When you shoot in that game, your screen is covered with bullshit. You can't even see what you're shooting at. And you know what that means? You can't play on mouse and keyboard. Because every time you try to take a fight, you're going to have visual clutter and all this bullshit on your screen. And you're not going to see anything. And guess what? The guy you're facing, he doesn't have to see anything. Because aim assist is doing the rest for him. And that's why I don't play Call of Duty.
Now, I will say, I don't think this problem is only for mouse and keyboard players. Does it affect mouse and keyboard, players tremendously? Yes. It's definitely a pain in the butt not being able to see what you're shooting at. But this goes across the board for everybody, no matter what input you're using. The gunfights in Call of Duty are completely randomized at this point in time, unlike back in the day when we used to play back in the prime. I mean, not only is skill-based matchmaking completely manipulating our overall experience every single time we hop into a COD experience, but on top of that, I want to say Treyarch, but mostly Infinity Ward. Infinity Ward has a really crazy hard-on to making sure that the game is completely randomized when you get into combat. And they make sure that all of their weapons are impossible to track any individual. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to hop on a classic like Black Ops 2. I'm going to showcase what it looks like in that game, and I'm going to transfer over to Modern Warfare 2 2022. And you are going to see the differences that, and you're going to see with your own eyes why the games nowadays just take way less skill compared to something back in its prime. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we are on Black Ops 2. I wanted to go ahead and showcase this game specifically because this game was probably the most competitive Call of Duty game out of all the OG classics. From Call of Duty 4 up to Black Ops 2, I would say this is the prime of when it got really competitive. And of course, maybe I should use something that's a little bit more casual, but the rest of the OG games kind of follow up in the same manner as this game right here. As you can see right here, it's going to be as simple as day. I can track, I can see, like for example, let's say, I just want to shoot up the tube here. I can literally see the tube while I'm shooting. I can see the whole tube while I'm shooting it, right? If someone's head glitching up here, I'm going to be able to see their body. The visual, like nothing's popping up at my face. There's no smoke flying out of my gun. There's no debris of the map, flying up in my face, A little debris there, but still, I mean, I'm shooting something right in front of me. It's not like it's going to be dust kicking up in my face while I'm trying to engage in any scenario. Guys, again, this is what I'm trying to prove. That Shroud is not lying here. Shroud really does mean business. He's not saying that Call of Duty, is a completely unskilled game, but how they cater the game nowadays is just further pushing in that direction. But let's hop on Modern Warfare 2 so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about here. All right, ladies and gents, we are here in Modern Warfare 2 2022. I got an M4 rifle out here for you guys, and we're going to go ahead and demonstrate, obviously, the visual clutter that is within this game. Now remember, in Black Ops 2, it was virtually nothing. Maybe a little bit of smoke out the end of the muzzle. But, I mean, let's go ahead and check out Modern Warfare 2. So, long range. It's so funny. It's hilarious to me. I'm sorry, because I'm not even shooting anything up close. It's going to be even worse when I shoot something up close and I have a real target. But even long range is an absolute joke, bro. Oh my goodness, you can't aim that. There's no legitimate way to aim that, and again, it adds a random factor to the game. Instead of someone being skilled, being able to control their weapon, being able to have good, reaction time, being able to lock onto the enemy target, instead of all of that stuff, they add in all this random clutter to make sure that you have to fight 50,000 different things before you can actually fight the enemy that you want. But Let's look over here, man. All right, we got a little target here, a little tube, just like in the... Oh, yeah. Oh, the best perk system in the world. You can't go into a private match in this game without the announcer announcing that you have a brand new perk every 5 seconds, even though it should be like that since the beginning of the match. All right, enough rambling on about other topics. Let's showcase this. Now, trying to actually track something, you can't see it. Between all the smoke that's on your screen, all the visual clutter of the actual, iron sight shaking itself, you can't track anything. You can't realistically look through that and tell me you can see. You can't realistically look through that and tell me you can see. You can't. So, ladies and gentlemen, I never even noticed this. What the heck is this? That's what Shroud is talking about, ladies and gentlemen. I guess he was coming at controller players next. But I gotta be real, this is a problem for everybody across the board. Not just controller players, this is, well, not just PC players. This is for everybody. It doesn't matter what you play on. Call of Duty, the skill has been absolutely drained from the overall franchise. And I understand as time goes on and, new technology comes out and clearly Call of Duty makes so much money so they can reinvest into the same project. I get it. You want to make the game look more realistic, more cool, more like if you're shooting a real weapon. I get the vibes that they want to do. But at the end of the day, it's an arcade arena shooter. You can go far when it comes to, graphics and making things look cool. But at a certain point, you have to calm down and allow people to still be able to play the game how it's supposed to be played. Because all this does is randomize gunfights, encourage less movement, less engagements, and just more camping. With all honesty, knowing that you aren't completely in control of your weapon makes people not want to move and engage as much as they usually would back in the day where they know they have full control of what they are shooting. But I have another clip here before we end off the video by Modern Warzone. He made a really good point over on Twitter saying that, luckily things might be a little bit different when it comes to Modern Warfare 3. I'll actually go ahead and flash up the clip right now for you guys. As you can see, this is how the visual, clutter is looking right now in Modern Warfare 3. The graphics obviously aren't that good. I tried to download the video over on Twitter, so I couldn't get it in the best high definition, but you can still see, how it looks. It looks good, right? Looks better. Not really surprised, because that's the whole selling point of Modern Warfare 3, is it's a Modern Warfare 2 with improvements, everything that we've been asking for, and visual clutter is definitely one of the things we've been asking for, so I wouldn't be shocked if this stays, but I will say, keep in mind, this is campaign gameplay. We have to wait until we get hands-on with multiplayer. Of course, when that comes out, we can test it. We can see if they have made good improvements to make the gunplay more fun and engaging. But to base stuff off of campaign, I want to be a little skeptical for now, because a lot of the times when you use weapons in campaign, just the whole feel of the gun itself feels completely different. I'm not talking about time to kill, because clearly time to kill is different in campaign compared to multiplayer, but I'm talking about recoil patterns and, like I said, visual clutter, stuff like that. It's always massively different in campaign than it is in multiplayer. But I'm hoping this is the case. It sucks that you got to pay $70 for DLC, and I don't expect anybody to go ahead and do so. But I did want to flash that up for you guys so you know that within the next title, it might be a little bit better, I guess. But right now, it's one of the main reasons why a lot of people just don't want to dabble within COD. And a lot of players who have been trying to, take it very seriously, especially when it comes to content creation, usually end up going to different games. Because at least in different games, you don't have to deal with a lot of the crap that you deal with in Call of Duty. I mean, come on now. What's a worse combo than having thick skill-based matchmaking that manipulates over half your games, combined with just really weird, awkward gunplay where your visual clutter and just recoils are almost randomized instead of just simply having a set recoil pattern and letting the players go at it. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you all today. Thank you so much for checking out this video, and I really do hope you enjoyed. I always have a blast putting up content like this, so of course, if you want to see more stuff just like this video, commentaries, live gameplay, comparisons for Call of Duty, or even X-Defined, don't forget, subscribe and hit that bell. We post daily at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. And last but not least, if you guys do want to catch any of my live streams, we do stream daily besides Sundays, but I will be over on Kick. The link to that channel, along with all my other socials like Twitter, Discord, I have pretty much everything linked down in the description of this video. But guys, don't forget, go down, leave your comments, let me know how you feel about this overall topic, about if you think Call of Duty takes skill, still current date, even with all this visual recoil, or do you agree? You think that Call of Duty is a non-skill game only because of the massive, ridiculous changes that a lot of these development teams do when it comes to gunplay, movement, all of the above to kind of nerf down the better players. But guys, thanks so much for checking out this video. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.